All right. So
Yeah.
it's not just the content itself. We're also talking about presentation. Speaking of, like, you work a lot with audio, right? You're a DJ. You're a producer, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up. All right. So
Yes,
this
sir.
brings me
Mixer, master,
the next
engineer,
magical 2 words
engineer.
that you
Yep.
need to be aware of that will definitely help you with your live stream. All right. Audio correction. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Keep going.
All right.
Explain in more
So
detail.
Trey might know more about this since the field I work in is very loosely related to this. You'll notice this in live calls, especially when you're listening back to casts. So Spoon is actually a lot smarter than we give it credit for, and it actually automatically listens to your shit and it tries to adjust volumes and erase levels to give people the best listening experience.
Yep.
Discord does the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Even the other stream, even the other what you call it, the other app does it.
Yeah.
It does that as well.
This is the second reason you shouldn't really play music while you're on a live stream, because there will be times, and this has happened to me and I've noticed it before, the music will cause your caller's voice to be erased or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So,
That is true.
sorry.
And sometimes some people come into sometimes some people come into your stream and they will be playing music into the background of their stuff, whatever they're doing, and it starts to fight. The system starts to fight with who to prioritize speaking. Like with a regular phone, especially with iPhones, like you do FaceTime or FaceTime audio. If you call and you speak and I speak at the same time, my phone will mute you. My phone will mute your output to me, because it's like it's trying to prioritize me speaking to it. To my phone is trying to prioritize my voice speaking to it over you speaking to me. So my phone, even though we're talking at the same time, it will die down your volume, and you will be speaking at the same time as me, and I won't even notice.
Yep. So that's also why you shouldn't really play music when you're in a live call. So if you're doing a music stream, don't turn live calls on.
Yeah, high key. Yeah, high key. And sometimes at the same time, I will say this: I am a super big victim of every time I turn off my live call. Three people, like minimum, good friends or otherwise, will come into my stream and be, "Why you ain't got live call on?" Even if they don't want to call in, they be like, "Why you don't want live call on?" I notice. Even when I do have live call on, sometimes I'll have streams nobody calls in, of course, but it'll be people in there that normally always call in. They just want to have it on just in case. Just in case. Some people have it on as a. Some people be like have it on as a better safe than sorry type of thing. Because at the same time, I still have to invite
I do it the same way, man. Because if I'm playing the ukulele and a homie calls in, I'm going to be really tempted to answer the call. Or, then they might get offended if you tell them, like, "Hey, man, I'm not answering you right now."
Yeah, I hate
just
that.
turn live calls off. If they ask, you explain. For example, my ukulele streams, that's where I first figured this out. A good friend of mine, Grantopolis. I was doing a late night ukulele stream. We had like 20 plus motherfuckers in there. Grant gets completely shit-faced and shows up to my stream and calls in. And you know how some homies are on Spoon? They don't care what you're streaming about. They'll just hijack the entire thing just to call in and be like, "Hey, how's it going, man?"
Yeah.
"Oh, nothing much. I'm just here doing like generic household task number 532. Fucking, they're eating a sandwich, just ruining your fucking live stream. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So Grant called in shit-faced doing all these things, and it was no longer a ukulele stream, and I lost all those viewers.
Yes, I hate that.
Like, if I'm doing a ukulele stream, I turn live calls off. I'm playing the fucking ukulele.
I'd be like, bro, like, to a degree, there's also this shouldn't even have to really be said, but a lot of Spoon is common sense and like real world interaction common sense type shit. So the thing is, don't overstay your welcome. That's it. Like when you go to a friend's house, when you go to a party, anything like that, you go there and you judge based on y'all, the legitimacy of y'all relationship or whatever like that, or the thickness. of your relationship. But as a whole, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be there past, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount of hours. That just makes it like, all right, like, there's a rising and a falling, there's a rising, a climaxing, and a falling, like storyboards. But it's the same for necessarily the vibe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So some people will like call in, and the beginning of the call, the fact that you got on the call, is where it starts to get good, and then the climax is, you know, the actual conversation, and then the falling action is, or the coming down is usually where you start to have to make your exit. Some people stay on too long.
Yeah, they do, and it's like they have no self-awareness whatsoever. It still blows my fucking mind. Like, if I'm calling it into your stream, for example, and there's 15 people, if I'm in your call and then I see that suddenly you're down to like 7 motherfuckers, I'm gonna be like, okay, they probably, you know, aren't really vibing with the way I'm interacting with you right now, you know, and I excuse myself and I leave. Or the conversation just dies down and this motherfucker is still in your live call, not saying anything for like a minute. And now I'm like, dude, like, just hang up.
Yes.
I'm trying to be nice.
Like, I hate that shit. Yes. I'm trying not to like ruin our friendship, but my nigga.
Like, read the goddamn stream title. Hey, Spoon Homies, read the fucking stream title. I can't tell how many times I'm doing. Listen, right now, I guarantee fucking there's gonna be people that are gonna enter. They're gonna be like, le.mikey, and they're gonna fucking call in immediately. And I know if I answer, they're gonna talk about nothing that we've talked about so fucking far. It ruins the stream. It ruins the flow
tremendously. Every time it does, and it's like, damn. Like, but it's like, you know, I hate it because I'm in tune with my emotions. So I'd be like, I'll sacrifice it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll sacrifice it. You see, I got choice, I got 8,000. I'll still sacrifice it. I'll be like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I have 14 people in here, but this my homie that's calling on, and we've been cool since fucking February. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I guess, like, you know what I'm saying, you win some, you lose some, you pick your drawbacks, but you be like, to yourself, I'll be like, bro, like, you can't tell, like, you can't read the room.
Yeah.
And see that you killing it. You literally killing it. You are killing it.
Bro, that happened to me earlier this week. Oh my god. I was so fucking pissed. I went live, and it was supposed to be like a motivational talk about how no one gives a shit. Right? It was going to be like, bro, no one gives a shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you have the strength to handle your business. Like, bullshit. Right? So as I'm talking about, listen, no one actually gives a fuck about your problems more than you. First of all, the first person to call in just came in to announce that it was their birthday. And then it was a friend of mine, so I had to fucking stop being, you know, a smartass to be like, oh, happy birthday, buddy. And I'm like, yeah. And then the next motherfucker to called in to like announces that he had problems at home or some shit. And I'm like,
oh my god, I hate that shit.
Yes! And I'm just like, bro, like, read the fucking room. Like, you're acting like 5 seconds before you called in. I didn't just say no one gives a fuck about your problems. Why would you call in and proceed to tell us about your problems in a non-ironic way?
Your problems. Yes. Like, what? Like, I hate people. Some people come into the stream and they don't even call in. Some people come into the stream and they just text, I'm sad. Or they just text. They start immediately talking about whatever issue is going on. Like, they'll say, it'll be like, so-and-so entered, XOXO just entered. And then they'll be like, the first thing they say will be, I'm upset because my boyfriend told me that his parents don't want me over. And it'll be like, huh? And it'll be like, out of nowhere. But they'll be talking. You let it go because you don't want to be mean. You'll let that first line slide and not kick them, not mute them, not address it. Or, you know, even if you do address it, you'll address it real light. But they will talk about it for like 8 more lines.
It is the most annoying thing in the fucking world. And then you can tell sometimes the situations are just extremely ridiculous, and you know they're making it up and they're doing it for attention. But the shit they're lying about is so like horrible that you can't really accuse them of lying in public because it's socially frowned upon.
Yes.
You know, and I'll straight up say it. People come into a stream and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself." Like, bro, you don't know me. You don't know anyone in this room. You didn't say hi. Like, you have no profile picture. Your name is like Spooner9587653, whatever the fuck. And out of 5 words in your sentence, you misspelled like 4 of them. I'm immediately gonna assume you're an 8-year-old who isn't getting enough attention at home.
That's my thing. I say that at the same time. I'm like, out of everybody, even if you is a little bit older, the older you are, the more I expect you to be not guilty of this. But why are you, when you're going through whatever you're going through, your first instinct is to jump on Spoon? I've seen people that have been going through some shit, and they go on. This makes more sense. It makes more sense when I see people that go through shit and they get on Snapchat and go, "Nobody talk to me," or they go on Snapchat and say, "I hate everybody." Sometimes of shit. That's trash, but it makes more sense than to get a random nigga string that you don't fucking know, full of niggas you don't know, and blab about your problems, legitimately trying to get help and assistance and advice.
It doesn't.
Makes no sense.
Like, obviously you're lying.
It makes no sense.
Like 99.9% of the time when someone does that, they're lying. All the marks are there.
Right.
And you know, you have to be very careful, because if I go straight up and I do like Amazing Asian here, or whatever the fuck his name is, Motivation, fucking Amazing Asian. Fucking, if they come in and they're like, "Hi, I'm gonna kill myself, nice to meet you," you know, I can't just say go to my backyard. And like, as much as I want to say it, like, people are gonna frown upon that, especially in today's culture.
Right. Cancel culture. Yes.
So you have to be very careful of how you phrase things.
When you said the having, now that's the thing. This is what when you said earlier, like having music on while people call in, but mixing that in with when you were talking about having an actual music stream or having a music center, that when you have a friend that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, they cool, like you cool, and it's a music stream. I hate to bitch about it. But I kind of don't like when I'm having a music stream and somebody's cool as fuck with me. They come on a call to sit
and talk with you like you're having a personal phone call in public. But I don't care about your life, man.
Right. And it's like you're the fact, and it's not to be rude, but just the fact that you're here alone, the fact that I let you on call is making the quality of the live go down. Yeah. Literally, you're ruining the what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Trey will call it and sit there. I'll fucking Ouija call you out, man.
That is false.
I just turn it off to avoid it for streams I know where I'm not taking callers, because the quality does go down. And if you're playing music and someone does call in and you answer, you turn that shit down. The audio correction does not account for those wavelengths. Richie, thanks for love.
Right. That's false. Juju, you better not tell him. Yeah, what the fuck? That shit false as hell. Local Cracker. Local Cracker was in my shit too. He was
it's all right.
Crazy.
He can go talk to himself.
I love the mute. That's what I was wondering. I talked to Juju a while ago. I was like, is the mute button a soft kick, a soft ban for your friends? Like, is it supposed to be like, is it like, I'll still fuck with you, I don't want you to be kicked and banned forever, so I'm gonna mute you so you can still chill and
yeah, because I don't ban people unless they're outright fucking stupid. You know, Usually the only time I directly ban someone without even interacting with them is when they come in and they say like the type of shit some Caucasian nation edgy 13-year-old would like write in this notebook in the back of the class. You know, I just mute their ass and I roast them until I see that the live call thing turns off, and I'm just like, okay, like that works.
That's funny as right. I do the same thing. I'd be like, oh, it turned off. When that blue phone goes back to gray.
Like, hey, you came in and you decided to say this outrageous shit. I'm gonna mute you and then describe in detail how your mom takes copious amounts of crack, and then like you won't be able to respond. I can be as cheesy as possible, and you won't be able to respond. I'll say you smell bad. You smell bad, and you have cooties, and you can't defend yourself, man. I'm winning.
At all. I can stop.
You're muted, man. It's like North Korea up in here once I mute you. Can't complain. Crazy Gemini, how you doing?
What are any more of your other
oh dude, I
advisory tips to stream? Because
I can
you have
very good hours. Another thing you can do, audio monitoring. So once again, this is tips for broke motherfuckers who don't want to invest in extra hardware. You see that little green circle when you go live with a speaker in it, and that green moves based on how the audio is. If you want to gauge the right volume of like background music that you have, you want the green to be at around a little over than half. I figured that out so far. If your background music is there, typically it's like the perfect level where you can even talk without yelling or overexerting yourself. And then when people call in, you just lower the volume a little bit. And like I said, it's phone call mode, so you can't even listen to the music anymore. It's like a little perfect medium.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's very effective, to be honest with you. In addition to that, when somebody calls in, I noticed, because I'll be paying attention to that as well. When somebody calls in, or when you plug in a new input source, the sensitivity apparently goes down or up. I don't know, it changes. But when you look at that, when you're streaming and you look in the top right hand corner and you see the input values, the values are less dramatic. So like they don't spike, they don't like the little circle doesn't fill up with you being loud, which lets you know that you're not like being sensitively heard as much as you used to be. And that kind of proves that, you know what I'm saying, that the quality is down, or they probably can't hear the music with two people talking right now, or they probably something's being missed. You know what I'm saying?
Completely
Something's
agree.
Being left out.
If that green circle is a fucking lifesaver. Now let me tell you, the one thing I'm still butthurt about was the update that changed the sound bar to a fucking circle. Because that sound bar was a fucking godsend. Just by looking at the amount of bars that would fill up with the sound, you could pretty much tell, just like any other software.
I would say also, would you agree with having and it's a 2-hour live, so you can't have like a really heavy one, but I say having like a soft script.
Yes, I do that listen, I do that so much. You bring an excellent point. Tell us about your method.
If I'm chilling and I know, most of my followers know, if I title my live something specific, it's specific. It's specific as shit. Like if I title it, if I just say depression, it's over with. Everybody knows, like, just because of my usual routine, my MO, people know how I'm going or how I'm coming before they even come in there. So with that being said, I don't have to worry about like being too improv heavy. But at the same time, since I am talking about something specific like mental health, depression, my history, my past, my father, my mother, anything like that, I'll have soft outlines. If anything, the softest of softest scripts that you can have, that I can have, is bullet points.
Exactly.
Lifesavers.
And it's all about the kind of person you are. For example, Weechi here just said he doesn't use a script. Even with a topic, he just wings it. Some people are naturally very good at improvisation. They are able to eloquently state their points. They're able to seamlessly transition from A to B. But in my case, since I usually take like bong rips every 15 minutes when I'm live, because that's how I stay sane, I need a script to stick to. So
Right.
Yeah,
I need
and
a
it's just
reminder.
bullet points. You don't need to actually
Yeah.
write out an entire fucking script. Just simple bullet points. We're talking
Yeah.
about this. Ba, ba, ba,
'Cause
ba,
it's-
ba.
Right. Right. Because it's 2 hours. You feel me? Like you're gonna have, like what the thing is, like you having a bunch of bullet points. You can have a bunch of bullet points, but at the same time, you have to elaborate on each
Hey,
point.
what's up, Cece? How you doing? Yeah. Now,
Hey, Cece. So at the same time, you have to elaborate on each point. So it's like you might be able to make about 7 bullet points, but in the span of 2 hours, depending on how good of a talker you are, how good your content or in depth your content is, you're only going to be able to get to about 4 out of 7 of those. Probably.
like I said, those bullet points are great lifesaver as well for when you get off track. Like motivation, amazing Asian BC boy 18 said, "Fuck it." When you have an awkward silent moment,
Yeah.
you know. And then as someone who's aspiring to be a comedian, I write jokes all the time anyway, so it's just great fucking practice.